Hello, hello. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to another session of the Breastfeeding Stories series. We are welcoming Sarah today, who is a mom of three and a doula agency owner. She's a doula. She is passionate about breastfeeding, and I am excited to have her on to share her journey with you, because what we are doing with this series is sharing stories about breastfeeding and the reality specifically of that initial period, which commonly isn't talked about. And so we really want to normalize what different experiences can look like, and we want people, if you are expecting, to know that, there may be challenges, and to hear from other people firsthand from an empowered place helps you envision what you desire for your journey. And if you are already in your breastfeeding journey, then I invite you to grab a warm drink, curl up, and I'm sure that some of the things that Sarah's going to share will resonate with you, and we can connect more deeply with one another as women who see ourselves in another. And so this is a really exciting time, and I'm grateful that you are here and grateful for Sarah coming on to share. It's going to work this time. Welcome, Sarah. It says adding. I am just getting something set up in the back. Yay! I don't know what happened last week, guys, but we are here and we are rolling now.
Is it working? It's not popping up on mine end yet, but I'm trusting I can hear your voice, so.
Yeah, you're on. It says joining. It's just not video yet, but this is further than we got last week. I don't know what was going on. It ended up saying that Facebook was having an error.
Oh dear.
So we will trust, give it a minute. It says joining.
Yeah, for some reason it's frozen on my end, so I don't know.
Okay, let's see if I can. Okay, I'm going to take you off and we'll try it again.
Okay.
Gotta love it. All right, it says joining. Joining is cleared. Are you there?
I'm here.
I hear you again, but I don't see the video. But it also doesn't say adding or joining.
Technology, you gotta love it.
Yeah. Can you see you on your end?
I see me, but I don't see you.
Oh, interesting. Facebook, if you could work with us, that would really be wonderful.
Okay. Let me see.
You see you, but don't see me. And I see me and don't see you.
Oh my. Okay. I'm gonna try, let's try it one more time. I'll try it from my computer. Oh.
Hello, I see some people are popping on. Bear with us. We are figuring out this technology challenges with Facebook Lives. But we're going to get it.
Okay. So Heather, I have it pulled up on my computer and I can see both of us. But on my phone, I can only see me.
Oh, interesting. Oh.
So I think it's working.
Okay, let me see. I'm now intrigued. So I'm on. Oh yeah, so strange. This is trippy now. Okay, so I can see you too. on the live stream, but not on mine. So that's okay. It's working. I'm going to make sure the computer's muted so that I'm not hearing double. Okay, it's working. Welcome. There's a little lag, so maybe it's going to throw me off if I see the video in the background. but welcome. Thank you, Sarah, for being here. I was sharing a bit of an intro in just how special and important it is to hear one another's stories, to share for yourself, honoring your breastfeeding journey and looking back what that experience was like, and to share it with others who are newer on their journey or who are preparing for it, to be more informed and have that awareness of the realities of what breastfeeding looks like, what it takes, so that people can be more informed and prepared to be supported on that journey as well. Because I know for myself, I felt totally blindsided in regards to the degree that breastfeeding was going to take up my life. And so by sharing that and normalizing it and normalizing reaching out for support and normalizing the slowness, to really embrace this season as drastically different as it is for so many of us compared to our lives before baby. So I'm grateful for you and grateful for everyone who is watching this. Feel free, if you are watching the replay, say hello. If you are on live, say hello. If there are any questions that come up or any comments, feel free to pop them in and share, and we will visit them. So let's get started. You can introduce yourself, and then we'll get into the first question.
Sure. Thanks so much for having me. I'm excited to come on here and share. I am Sarah. I think I caught some of the intro. Yes, I'm a mama to 3 boys, 4 and under, and I am also a doula and a business owner, and I really have a heart for working with women, working with mothers, really believing that, when you mother the mother, you by extension care for the family, you care for the community, and it's a ripple effect. So I feel really honored and just excited to be able to serve the women that I get to serve.
Amazing. And so going back to your first experience, did you always plan on breastfeeding? Like, did anything influence your decision when you were preparing for that decision of how you'd feed your baby?
Yeah, it was always kind of a I want to breastfeed. I grew up like my mom breastfed myself and my 2 siblings, and I actually grew up overseas in the Middle East, and it was I remember being in contexts where women would just freely breastfeed, and just it was very normalized for me in that space. So I just kind of grew up thinking that I would do it too.
Yeah. Amazing. That's great that you had exposure, because for others, they can kind of say, I want to breastfeed, but some haven't seen it before. And so that's amazing that you had that exposure and felt that this is the right thing for you. And so going back again to that time, what were those first few days to months like for you? You can share your story of that initial entry into postpartum and breastfeeding.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so first time was April 2020, so the month that the world shut down.
Wow.
And so yeah, it was challenging just because we were navigating. We had initially thought, my parents and family would be coming over to be with us, and then traveling, they weren't able to, and so just navigating some disappointment there. But as far as breastfeeding goes, I think it was you can sometimes somehow prepare yourself for what to expect, but nothing really prepares you for the reality. Um, and and so yeah, it. I think the biggest challenge was just getting used to the feeding on demand thing of going from your own life and your just ability to get up and do whatever you want to do, and now finding yourself just very tethered to this new little one who's support or just reliant on you for everything. And so yeah, and I consider myself very fortunate. I didn't experience like anything major challenge-wise breastfeeding, actually with all three of mine. Um, and but the initial soreness, navigating that, navigating like how to figure out baby's latch and making sure that he was latching well. Um, I think for me, just in, and maybe I'm jumping ahead a little bit, but in just remembering like how I navigated that season, um, it, uh, some of my closest friends who had babies before me just were, I remember them messaging me, checking in, and being able to have that kind of um, back and forth support where it's like, okay, I'm feeling this, or like he's really fussy right now, like is he hungry, like what do I do, and just being able to get the reassurance, the encouragement, the normalizing that it's all good, that baby's doing well, you're doing well. And then of course like my midwives were incredible for this postpartum support as well, of just especially that they came to my house and were able to help with the latch, and um, just give me the reassurance that baby was gaining well and all of that. So, yeah, that's kind of a brief snapshot of what that time looked like.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. Thank you for sharing. We haven't had someone specifically talking about midwives yet. And so thank you, because that initial support, that first week or two, which is one of the differences with midwifery care, right? In Canada, when the midwives come to your house multiple times in that first week. And so you can ask. I remember I was asking anyone who was in the room, I was like, can you look at this? How are we doing here? And so for you to get that feedback, and then also to have that social support and friends who have been there as well. Not everyone gets that, right? And so to be able to have people that you can bounce off is really nice. And so having a sense of community somewhere, whether it is through your social network or through a breastfeeding support group, to be able to connect with people who are in that same season does help with that reassurance when it is something that's new, and every journey is different. So you can do your preparation, but you want to be able to have people and tools that you can lean on, especially in those first few weeks getting going, for that reassurance when things are new. That's amazing that you had that support. And in regards to, you were talking about the latch, were there any other things that you had done beforehand to know, okay, this is a good latch, or this is like, how prepared did you feel going in? What was some of that education or preparation that maybe you had done that also helped you feel connected or more aware when you were breastfeeding? Oh, I'm not sure that this is right. Who can I reach out to?
Mm. Um, we took an incredible like prenatal education class through my midwives at the time, um, and they went over some breastfeeding kind of positions, and just some brief tips. Knowing what I know now, I'm like I did not really go into it knowing much. It was more of a stumbling through, learning as I go kind of experience, which I again very fortunate that it didn't come with a host of challenges, because I know that that's not the case for a lot of women. Um, and so now I'm definitely a huge advocate for, like, as much as you can, prepare yourself, whether it's like a breastfeeding course, or at least knowing, I have someone on my team who's very passionate about just offering that breastfeeding support for mothers, almost like a like coaching on the spot, or like mentoring you through it. And I think every mother needs to feel that supported, or needs to know, like, hey, these resources exist to help you, because I feel like a lot of women give up, you know, because they don't have the proper help and support that they need.
Yeah, knowing the support is there is huge. Knowing that you don't have to just suffer, and if you are struggling, that there are people and professionals who want to help and can help. And that's a huge thing that at Naked Tank we share. So thank you again for sharing the importance on how that's impacted your journey, and how now you're helping others through your team and others who are passionate about breastfeeding to connect with moms while they're preparing, and then also when they're in that season, to give them the reassurance if maybe they don't have it in that social network. Um,
Exactly.
there is something else. Oh, something too that I've been sharing beforehand again is that this information is out there, but I've been talking about, the village, and people are like, they say there's a village, but then where's the village? And so I wanted to empower people who are watching to know that you get to be active in that, in creating your village. And if breastfeeding is something that you want to do, to start surrounding yourself with people who are passionate and supportive about breastfeeding. And then also just in your social circle, whether it's parents or partner or friends, even if they don't have the same breastfeeding knowledge, which is okay, how can they support you? And how can you surround yourself with people who are on your side and giving you reassurance, and also having those professional resources on hand, so that if something does come up, that you can lean on them. And also your story, because we've had some people who they did have more challenges, mastitis or troubles with latching. Maybe they didn't have that same hands-on support in the earlier days. It's nice to hear as well that that doesn't always happen, because sometimes we can hear more of like the horror stories, and people can be like, I don't want cracked nipples, I don't know how this is going to go.
Yeah.
But it really comes down to that support and trust in yourself to I talk about like surrender as well, right? Surrender to the stage, because postpartum is not the stage to be doing all of the other things outside. It's really about, especially those early days, honoring yourself and connecting with your baby. So letting go of some of those other expectations, so that you can really focus in on the skill and that bond and your healing.
Yeah, and that's a huge, huge thing that I encourage all of my clients, and the new mamas that I work with, just to really honor that time of rest, of bonding, of nourishing yourself, so that you can nourish your baby. Because unfortunately it's countercultural in our Western society and culture, um, where it's different in other parts of the world. But it's you really shouldn't have to worry about doing anything other than just being in that bubble with you and your baby, and being able to just rest and really establish that bond, because it does take time to kind of establish breastfeeding
Yeah.
at first. And it can become, I'm sure, an additional stressor or thing that people give up on, because they've got other things on their plate. So that's another thing that I am just passionate about, like taking things off of your plate, so that you can really just be in that bubble.
Yeah. Yeah. Embrace the bubble.
Yes.
So you've mentioned the support with your midwives. What else do you think was really vital in supporting your journey most? And what did that look like?
Um, Knowing what I know now, a lot of it comes back to nourishing myself. And I feel like now, 3 babies in, I've made that more of a priority each time. Where like with my second baby postpartum experience, a little rougher, a little yeah, I had two under two, and it was a lot, and I just was navigating some postpartum anxiety stuff, and but also didn't wasn't nourishing my body the way that I know how, and you do the best that you can with what you know at the time, and but yeah, now I just like, especially knowing the toll that pregnancy takes on your body, the mineral depletion that happens, and really just actively encouraging moms. So like, and doing this myself, of just actively repleting myself in the postpartum period. That was huge. So making sure that I had just access to all the good nourishing foods. And I did a lot of prep beforehand, and then we were really blessed with like meal trains and people dropping off meals and all of that. That was such a huge help.
That's amazing. And it is something that can sometimes fall behind, right? It's like, okay, we're focused on the other things going on, but to really prioritize your own nourishment, because your body is taking from you your stores for your milk, right, as you're nourishing your child. And so coming from your experience as a mom of two under two, you talked about some meal preparation and then being blessed with meal trains. What is a piece of advice for someone who's maybe planning to have two under two, or maybe someone who is in that stage? What's a tip that you can have to help them nourish themselves a little more easier, a little more easily, or something to focus on?
Yeah, so I would definitely take advantage of the time that you have now, if you can, while you're pregnant, to prepare ahead of time. So as much as you can, to have, your freezer stocked with meals. And an easy way to do this that I tell people is like, the meals that you're preparing now, make double, and just freeze one, so that it's not like this big intense meal prep, which you totally can do, but just making it more manageable. And then asking, or even asking friends or family to bring something over that you can easily pop in the freezer. Um, Looking up, there's a host of different like one-handed snacks and energy ball recipes, and just really nourishing foods and snacks that are going to be like easily accessible and go to, especially while you're breastfeeding, um, that you can just eat with one hand. So looking up some of those and preparing those ahead of time, and then also, if you have the ability to have a postpartum doula come in after you have baby, or maybe it's a family member that you can have come in and almost like delegate different tasks that would be helpful, or just have them meal prep while they're here. I think people often want to help, but sometimes don't know how or the best way to help. So having different jobs that you can kind of assign to them beforehand, I find people really respond well to that.
Nice. That is excellent advice. I love that too. I hadn't have thought of just make double while you're doing your cooking now, right? Usually I think of a
Yeah.
batch thing, but that's a great tip. And it's so true too that there are people that want to help. There are people out there, and so sometimes they just don't know how to help. And so by knowing that having meals in your freezer takes a huge load off postpartum in regards to your preparation, in regards to worrying about what you even would eat, right? When you just have the things out and you get to pull it out and warm it up, and nourish yourself. And definitely the one-handed snacks are key. I loved the energy balls, energy bites,
Yeah.
and would make those in mass. Now I have to fight my other family members for them.
Same.
um, but they're a really good, yeah, staple. Things that are easy with one hand while you're holding on to the baby with the other.
Exactly.
And so thank you for that. Great tips. And how did you find the naked nursing tank?
I was looking back through our messages because I was like, when did we first connect? I think it was back in 2023. I got connected to you through Instagram, and just shout out to Heather. You are incredible, like encouraging, always cheering me on in my business. And yeah, so I first got kind of exposed to your product through Insta. And I was, I think, I think I first got my hands on it right after I had my third. And it's funny, I had kind of been doing the naked tank nursing thing myself, but with just like a like stretchy tank top underneath that I would just like pull down. And then so when I found your product, I'm like, oh my goodness, that's perfect. That's what I was trying to do. Without the added like rib or kind of line that it would make under my shirt. um, so yeah, it's I I've been using it. I'm actually wearing it right now. I've been using it almost every day. What I love about it is just like you layer it under whatever you would wear normally, because I did not want to I didn't want to go out and buy a whole new wardrobe, or feel the need to do that. And yeah, I absolutely love it, and just wish I would have gotten my hands on it sooner, because I could have used it with my first two as well.
And so how did it support your breastfeeding journey? What was it that you got to wear your regular clothes? You didn't have to buy a whole new wardrobe. What did that coverage do to support you on your journey?
Yeah, I I think I definitely feel more comfortable just being able to breastfeed in public. When I think back to my first, just I felt very, and part of it maybe too just becoming more comfortable. Now 3 babies in, where I think with my first I was kind of like, okay, I don't want to show anything, or what happens if baby comes off mid latch, like I don't want to uh, flash anyone. But now I'm not that I don't care as much, but to a certain degree, I'm just like, no, I'm able to do it more comfortably in public, where everything's covered, like stomach down, and yeah, it just makes me feel a lot more comfortable. Just and then being able to wear my own clothes has been awesome too.
It's something that I hadn't realized impacted me so much with my first, right? I would wear like loose shirts or wear shirts that I liked, but then I ended up stretching them out and having to having to throw them out because I would just stretch out the neckline because I didn't want to lift to show my stomach. And then
Yeah.
after having my daughter wearing the tanks, because I had her only a few months after taking over, I was like, oh, I can wear all of these clothes that feel like me. And it was part of that identity for that shift into being a mother, that I felt good in my regular clothes versus when I had gone to the maternity shop before. It was time maternity at the time, and like the people were not friendly, and I didn't like the clothes, and I didn't know how long I was going to wear them for. So it was just, I walked out without buying anything, and it just didn't feel good. And so that impact of having the freedom to wear your regular clothes while having that comfort in knowing that you're covered and not feeling exposed is really, that's what we're here for, right? Supporting people to feel more comfortable in their skin, breastfeeding in public and breastfeeding anywhere, anytime, as we say, right? Because it is something that can hold some people back from saying yes to social engagements, or leaving the room or something like that, feeling like they need to be somewhere else in order to breastfeed, when we want you to be comfortable where you are, knowing that the focus is on you and baby.
100%.
So baby number 3, how long are you celebrating breastfeeding? You can give for baby 3 and then also maybe for total.
Yeah, so my little guy just turned 1, so we are celebrating 12 months over here, and going whenever he wants. And yeah, so I've been pregnant or breastfeeding continuously for the past 5 years. I wasn't one of the people who have been able to breastfeed and be pregnant at the same time. There was too much pain there. So my pregnancies have kind of naturally weaned my babies.
Okay.
Um, and so yeah, it's been but over a year and a half for each baby so far.
Amazing. Celebrating you and that big 12-month milestone too with your youngest.
Thank you.
If you were to give one piece of advice, I know there's been already so many nuggets of gold, but if you were to give one piece of advice of something that you wish you knew earlier, what would that be?
I always go back to postpartum and just thinking back to especially the first 15 days and the first 2 weeks of just knowing the importance of rest for new mamas, and really like the whole you're healing from a dinner plate sized wound. I mean, it shrinks down quite quickly, but it's if that wound were visible, we would be encouraged to rest and not do anything. And so yeah, really just prioritizing as much as you can, and a lot of that comes with preparing for it beforehand, but making it so that all you can and all you need to do for those first 2 weeks is just rest, be with baby, and enjoy each other.
Yeah, it's so beautiful, and you're so right. Those first 2 weeks are so impactful, and when you can prepare for them, prepare for that support. It is possible, no matter what your story is, no matter what your support is like right now, you can actively reach out and make new connections to be supported, and being open to see things differently, to allow yourself that 2 weeks of rest. It is always possible. I remember after my third, he was early, and so my husband wasn't even off work yet, but I had known that I wanted to do the 5-5-5, and I stayed committed.
Yeah.
And I reached out to help that looked a little bit different, because originally my husband was going to be off, but we made it happen, and I was actually very impressed with how I was able to follow it. And I see a lot online that people are like, well, how can you do that if you have kids? And there's all of these other things that can come up, which are valid.
Yeah.
But when you really acknowledge and honor the importance of that first couple weeks to put yourself out there and allow things to be different, so that you can be supported, whether you do have older children or other responsibilities, how you can be prepared to let go of as much as possible as that, so you can really embrace that time and that rest, and developing this skill and connection with your baby and breastfeeding. Amazing. And the last fun question, what do you love about breastfeeding? What's your favorite thing?
I love this question. I was thinking about it, and I think what I love most is that it really forces me to pause, and it's almost like a mini nervous system reset for me as well. Like breastfeeding releases the oxytocin hormone, the feel-good hormone, and um, it's like you get to feed your baby while also just allowing that pause and that mini reset for you too. So there's been a number of, say in the middle of chaos, or like with my other kids just running around screaming, or like I'm at my wit's end and my baby's needing to feed, and I sit down and feed him, and it's just like, okay, reminder to breathe, reminder to just pause and kind of recenter, refocus. And yeah, I've really appreciated that, especially third baby in.
Amazing. It's so true. And even just the little pockets, sometimes I'll just sneak over to with JP and just like sit on the bed and nurse him, and it's like that calm. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's embracing that, which is something that doesn't always come easily at first, right? For people who are more active or you're used to the go-go, it's a transition postpartum. And so thank you for sharing that, and normalizing and inviting people who are watching this to think for themselves, okay, what's that going to be like? I'm going to, can I allow myself to slow down like that and really embrace it? And that way, when you are in the experience and holding your little one close, then you're able to stay present and really be grateful for that opportunity to embrace the slowdown, which is something that children teach us a lot. And it can feel like we're resisting at some times, but when we really just lean in and honor, there's a lot of beauty and just peace that comes with that. Amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yes, 100% all of that.
Okay, thank you, Sarah. Thank you, everyone. We are going to wrap it up, but I would love, Sarah, for you to share where people can find you.
Yeah, thanks so much for this, Heather. So I'm most active on Instagram probably. So at Selavie Doula Care, or you can find my website, www.selaviedoulacare.com. Or yeah, send me a message, send me an email. I can leave all that info behind here too.
Amazing. Awesome. Thank you so much, Sarah. And stay tuned. We will be doing another breastfeeding story in our series. We've got 2 more coming up over the next few weeks. And if you want to share your story, then feel free to send me a private message and we can chat about that. So thank you again, Sarah. Have a wonderful day, everyone. And we'll chat soon. Cheers.
Bye.